Listen to the echoes. Straight to the chorus. Welcome back on stage, Mr. Jailbreak, Mr. Misha. Welcome.
Hi guys. So far so good? Anybody have any terrible experiences? Anybody not have their luggage in or anything? What are you pointing at?
I do love your shirt, I'll say that much.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. It's like most of the
It's an extra large in Italy, and it's nice. Is it?
I know the feeling. I went to an Italian store yesterday, 2 days ago, and they were like, "Oh, you extra large," and I was like, "Thank you." And I put it on, and it was a long. I was like, "I didn't know it was a short sleeve shirt." He's like, "It's not." I don't know why he was French. It's not. I don't know what that accent was, but I'm gonna turn the fan on.
Last night we were at dinner, and Rob spilled some wine on his shirt, and I was like, "Oh no!" And he really wanted to save the shirt. Like he really wanted to. It's a white shirt. He wanted to get the wine out of the shirt. He was talking about it.
It was a white shirt.
So everybody was like,
red wine all over it.
This morning, you know,
I'm sitting next to him.
18 hours later, he's still talking about it. He's like, "Hey, the shirt. Do you guys think it's got a chance? Like, you think maybe?" And me and Tim and Jensen were all like, "No." And he said, "Guys, don't sugarcoat it. Just be honest with me. You think we have a chance?" But last night, he spills some wine on it and takes it off immediately. He starts putting salt on it or something. And Jared gave him his shirt. And Rob earlier in the day had also lost the sole of one of his shoes.
In all fairness, he didn't completely lose it. I think like this much came off, and so it was like the hangnail.
It's like flapping.
And it goes like that far up. He just ended up pulling the entire thing off.
When he left the restaurant, he had been drinking, and he was wearing Jared's shirt.
And the taxi cab driver was like, he walked to the taxi was like, no, I have no money, I have no money. He looked at him.
He had one shoe flopping, and it looked like he was wearing a kimono. It was a proud moment.
Yeah, when in Rome. We're good call. Awesome. Before we just talk about Rob's clothing for the rest of the day, we're going to start out. I'm going to go with yellow flowers.
Thank you. Hi. First of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I have the honor to start us off with a profound question for the both of you. And it might be best answered after a few drinks.
We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah. And the question is, if you had to sacrifice one of your eyes for all the wisdom and knowledge in the world, would you do it?
Why? Oh, I thought it was going to be which eye would it be?
So which eye would be? What would you sacrifice? Here's a question, yeah. I'm going to say no, comma, but. One T, or not arse. No, comma, but?
No, he would sacrifice his butt, is what he said. He would take it. I might cut out right there. I don't know.
Didn't. Would you all
Pop out an eyeball?
Yeah.
For all the wisdom and knowledge in the world?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah, because with all of that wisdom and knowledge, I can probably make a new eye.
But that's a bit like the vampire question, though, isn't it? Like, is eternal life a blessing or a curse? I feel like, I'm sorry to keep interrupting. I feel like part of the journey to get the wisdom and the knowledge is where the wisdom and the knowledge comes from. You know? Like, I don't think it's an answer, I think it's the asking of the question. So, my one-eyed friend over here, I would just ask him. Beach, what's up? How's your ride? Cool. Hey, what is the square root of 1 point? I don't know why the question I would be asking is about square roots.
You could probably use a calculator for that. That would basically be your Siri. You would just be, hey.
Misha, do I turn left or right?
Left. Or not right, right. Shit, sorry. I had a really great idea for an app the other day, which I'm going to share with you. It would be called something like Real World Directions.
I like already.
And it's like Google Map directions where it says, you know, the voice says, in 500 meters, turn right. But it would be up a little bit ahead, I think.
Tree.
I think you're gonna go right. No, not right, left. The directions would talk to you like that, and it'd be an automated. Isn't that great? Wouldn't that be?
It'd be like, and if you hit the train tracks, you've gone too far.
Shit, sorry, you've gone too far.
You're about to get rear-ended by the truck behind you.
The phone would talk to you and say, shit, I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with the area. I think maybe we should pull over and ask someone.
See, my version, I've talked about a different driving app where they just consistently keep you updated. So it's not like you're driving and you look at your phone and it's like, okay, I'm on the highway for 10 miles. It's gonna update me when I'm half a mile away from the exit. Mine would just be like, it would be Bluetooth, so you wouldn't have to touch it. But once you're on the highway, every 3 or 4 seconds, keep going straight. 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 And it could be like, if you could change the voice to where, like, if you were in the ghetto, it'd be like, bitch, go straight. Bitch, go straight. Bitch, go straight. I don't know why they have a lisp in the ghetto. They do, right? Keep going straight. Keep going straight. Keep going straight.
And the highway would be littered with phones. Everybody would be like, get this fucking thing out.
And a lot of lost people, like, all inside the road with a map, and all like a topographical map. Thank you very, very much. Awesome segue.
Hello.
Hi.
I have the question to both of you. Sam, Dean, and Cass had many action scenes of the fight to each other. How do you prepare for that in real life? Do you like to fight scenes between brothers and other characters?
We have, I have a little story.
How are you going to do it?
Well, actually, which one are we going to talk about? Our actual fight scenes? We're doing a little ventriloquy up here. No, we don't fight. Well, there's a couple of quick stories that come to mind. One is Toronto. Should we talk about that? It was a harmless little,
Well, the night started with Senior Rattles. I'll just interject this really quick little anecdote,
Yeah.
which we're walking home from Toronto. We've had a long dinner that probably involved wine. And Jensen, for
was
some
it
reason...
wine or tea that we had that night? I can't remember.
I think it was a lot of tea. And Jensen, for whatever reason, looks at me and goes, slap me in the face. I'm not one to be told twice, so I do about and he's like, oh, dude, pulls out half a tooth. So it's like, I didn't mean like that. No, you said slap me in the face, man. I'm loose. Like, what am I doing? So, then I carried on.
Yeah, just so you know. So that was the spirit with which we went into a wrestling match. Like, that had just happened, and we were like, you know what we should probably do right now? we should move the coffee table in the hotel room, and we should just, you know, try to kill each other.
Sounds makes sense to me.
And we did. We really wrestled pretty seriously. Pretty vigorously. There was one point when, and I was, you know, we'd had so much tea that we really couldn't feel. We couldn't really feel anything anymore. And and I was like, you know, I'm wrestling Jared, and Jared is, you know, he's a little guy. And at one point, he had me pinned, and he was pushing on my arm in some way, but you know, a normal person would have been like, all right, I tap out, I'm done. But I was like,
Misha doesn't have those.
fuck him, I'm not gonna tap out. I'm not tapping out. And so he kept going, and then there was a sound that came from my elbow.
A couple, they're like 2 or 3
It was
pounds.
like, and Cliff was like, that's it! Cliff came from the sidelines and removed Jared because there was an audible sound from my elbow. It wasn't a big deal. Like 6 months later, it was almost back to normal.
I think I went up to Misha maybe a week or 2 or 3 or 4 later when he worked again. And I was like, dude, that was a wild night. I put up my hand to like get my high five, and he was like, it doesn't go higher than this right now.
No, but you had like a
I bruised rib.
bruised rib, and Jensen had like a big scab over his whole face from a rug burn.
And a broken tooth. I was hurting too. My elbow was hurting.
Yeah,
my hip and ribs.
Yeah, we did
It was fun.
Good job.
It's an interesting wrestling match when the smallest guy in the room weighs 180 pounds. That's usually when damage can be done.
That's how we prepare for stage combat. There was a scene where you were, I think that you were Gadriel or something, and you were coming. We were in this kitchen, and I had to do one punch to knock you out.
Oh, right.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And everybody, the director and Jensen and a bunch of other people were in the other room looking at the monitors, and we did the first take, and everybody just started laughing, and they came out, and Jensen was like, that was fucking hilarious. Oh, you weren't kidding? Because apparently the punch, the one punch that I had thrown to knock him out was like...
They were like, oh, dude, total gag reel material, but for real this time. Misha was like, what? You don't think they would have knocked him out? Yeah, so that's a little sneak peek into how we train for fights. Thank you very much. Hi.
I had a question about Sam and Cass. What would have happened if they went to solve the case in India, Russia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what would happen?
Really good accent. What is your normal dialect?
My normal dialect?
Yes.
I'm from the Netherlands.
You're from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Because there was this sudden change when you were talking, and I was like, what's happening? I'm not familiar with it. It was very good. It was a spot-on Indio-Russia accent that you just did. So if we were trying to solve a case in Indio-Russia, well, I think, for me, I think, boy, this would be very... India Russia, what is that? Everything gets gumbled up in my head because what I'm doing is very, very lost. I am around all these Italian people and pasta and pizza and whatnot. But we would do really good India Russia. Because we would have a combination of Russian pancakes and curry paste.
Cakes and curry paste? Why is that going to solve crime?
And that would be very crumbs of that would be pasted around, and we would follow that back to the Windigo.
I can't say anything about it. Thank you.
If they had incest, what did you say? We're busy messing around over here, and all of a sudden, anyway, I think she
said incest. Did she say incest? She said that.
I used the word influence.
That's not what it sounded like you said.
Would it be Sastiel or Cam? I was thinking, it might be Cam. Carry on, incest is awesome.
The actual question was if they have made any influence on each other, because
Oh, yeah. All over each other. Is that what you call it?
it's actually called Celestial.
Is that what y'all call it in Italy? Is it? Oh man, they're really hitting it off. They're really influence on each other. I'm sorry.
I think your question is going very well, but...
Let me see. One second. There's some influence in your deck. That was the first part? Was that... Second. She's like, okay, you understood the first part. I cannot. Legitimately,
No idea what you were talking about.
And I have never been so excited to hear the second part of it. If that's how it started, I can only imagine where this is going.
Cass feels pretty damaged and lost.
Don't you mean Sam feels pretty damaged? After Cass has influenced him?
You want to hear the
No, we
No, we want to hear it. You're 2 for 2. That's good.
I will try to.
what? My stomach hurts. I feel damaged and lost. Someone. I'm just going to say, yeah.
Definitely. Until they're just too tired to do it anymore. Okay, we just cut ourselves off.
Thank you very much. That was my favorite series of. I don't know what to call it. That was my favorite thing that's ever happened while sitting in front of hundreds of people. I can't stop myself too. Thank you very, very much. You are amazing. Please. In hindsight, the best part of the entire charade was, this is going to be a serious question.
What a great setup.
I apologize for
Beat
this
that.
question. I have a question for Joe.
Yeah, go in.
The other day, Fisher said he would like to see this vacation season where maybe Sam would be cast a well-deserved massage.
Would he influence on it? I think we just heard all about it. You know, I'm not really sure where to go with that. So I'm going to say that Sam, Dean, and Cass all are in need of a well-deserved massage. I guess it'd be massages, because there'd be 3 people. Shoulders and neck. Shoulders and neck.
I bet there are many people who would volunteer for that.
Yeah? Any advice? Advices? She's not.
We have a volunteer, a massage volunteer here.
Well, thank you very much. You're awesome. Thank you.
Hi.
So nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you as well.
I have a question for Jared.
I'll tell you.
Let's hear your other question.
You said you like a band called Pearl Jam, and it is my favorite band at all now. So I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite Pearl Jam songs?
I love the song Just Breathe. In fact, my wife, it was the first, many, but the first song I heard as a father was Just Breathe. My wife had made a birth playlist because she is into natural birth and she wanted to have a playlist playing, and so she found some songs over the course of 40 weeks of pregnancy, and it was just on shuffle. And so she went into labor on Friday, gave birth on Monday, and then they sort of like, okay, the baby's healthy, all right, y'all go get in that room. And you sit there and you're like, and she was exhausted. She hadn't slept in 3 days. And so I have the baby, I have the still unnamed baby now called Thomas. And I'm sitting there and the baby is so like gentle and delicate, and I'm like, I'm gonna break this thing. And I can't sleep, and Jen's asleep on this tiny little hospital bed, and she looks like she's gonna roll off. And I didn't want to move, but I saw her computer on the desk in the hospital room. And so I just leaned over and pushed the space bar button, and that brought the computer screen to life. And I'm holding little baby Tom at the time, and I just clicked the play button. I knew it was on her playlist because that's what had been playing. And so I pushed play, and Just Breathe came on. So that is a really special place in my heart. It's a great song. Thank you so much. I'll take it. Those both suck. Is that terrible? I'd shave my head. I'd shave my head. Sam can wear a wig. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Russia here.
Hello.
So I hope that you're having a great time just as we're all here. So I know that you guys like to prank each other. So I wanted to know what was like the most hardcore prank that you have ever had on the set?
I think it was on camera. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I heard that. I think probably the most hardcore prank was actually caught on camera. And my friend here was directing, and we really wanted to get him with whipped cream pie in the face. But he's faster than he looks. He's wily. And so I knew I had to do it quickly. Unfortunately for me, quickly equaled
Forcefully. For him, quickly means using your hips, winding up.
It was one of those, like, I just wanted to, and so also, I don't know if you'll ever had like the pie foils, like the top of pie, it's in pan, you make a pie and then pie crust. You just put whipped cream in it, but if you tip it, it spills out because whipped cream isn't very substantive. And so I had to kind of go from this and keep the centripetal force to really smash it. And he had just come through the doorway in the Middle Letters Library, and with not a word of a lie, there was whipped cream like 15 feet away. Splashed. And I guess I thought maybe, it's not like a pound cake or a sponge bread where it would slow down. I basically just hit him as hard as I could. Right in the face. It was great.
It was awesome. That entire week was a week of utter fear for me because Jensen and Jared had been scheming. You had a list or something, right? 30 or 40 things that they were going to do to me. And
the list we've been making since like season 4, by the way.
And it involved some pretty complex things, but I would get, I had a couple of moles. Like, people would come up to me and they'd be like, dude, whatever you do, don't let anyone into your apartment. And don't tell Jared and Jensen I told you that. You're probably thinking, who the fuck was that?
Someone's getting fired. Someone's getting fired. It was a fun week, for sure.
That's one way to look at it.
It was great. It was my favorite week of filming.
It was
awesome. I could do it
not
again.
a great experience.
I could do it
For being
tomorrow.
honest, it was terrible.
Do it.
No,
Yes.
No.
Since the Ruski.
You think you could throw it to
3 people knows.
3 laughs. Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really nervous though.
That's okay. We won't. We won't.
I was wondering what.
We're not gonna.
I was wondering what song do you think describes Sam and Cass the best?
Girl, You Know It's True by Millie. Either that or I Can't Go For That. Anyone else? Anything? Yeah. How Do You Talk to an Angel? Three for three.
And Misha?
Misha?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I would think maybe something like, there's a song that my kids really like, which is my Anaconda.
That's Big Cat Back. Sir Mix-a-Lot. That's actually popular. Yeah, that works too. Thank you very much. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine. You?
Sweating.
Did I ever tell you about
Nervous.
Mason singing that song by Stu? We have this, the little kids like have photographic memories and they only have to hear something once. And the song came on while they were waiting in the car, and then Mason was like, just singing it. And the song goes, the naked Dutch painter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you. She's like in her car seat with her pacifier in her mouth. Naked Dutch painter in the kitchen does not wanna fuck you.
Tom, funny you should say that. Tom just, we were at dinner and we were at Maudie's in Austin, if you've ever been, and they play music on like very, very low where you can talk, and it's a Mexican food restaurant near our house. And he starts going, fuck you up. What? Fuck you up. And I was like, and Jen and I were like, kiddo, what are you saying? He's gonna funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Funk. He's going, funk? Say it again, Daddy. Funk. Let's just not sing that song. Sorry, go ahead.
My question is, which one of the villains from Supernatural do you like the most? This question is for the both of you, and if there's
She's
one,
here somewhere.
if there's one of which your least Eric, if there is one.
I always personally thought Ruby number 2 was pretty hot. She's somewhere. I don't know where she is.
Me too.
Excluding my wife, I think my favorite villain has been, and possibly always will be, Lucifer.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
We'll play. My least favorite, I don't know if this is like my Jared's perspective kicking in, but we're the bugs, all the bees. And we filmed Bugs in season 1 with like 30,000 or 40,000 bees, actual bees in a room. And they hired real bees, and
They had to interview each bee. The audition process was really grueling. I don't like that one.
but it was exciting. I mean, the buzz in the room. But they made us film with actual flying bees that were all drone bees. And they were like, don't worry, as long as they don't get pissed off, they won't sting you. And we're like, what do you do to piss them off? And like, if you hit them. Then we're like, we're in a scene where we're swatting bees. What are we, and they're like, no, well, don't hit them, just guide them away. And so, it was gonna be a scene of Sam and Dean like this. And we were like, no, if a bee flies at me, I'm gonna swat it. And so we did, and we all got stung. And then we watched the episode, and we were like, oh, it looks good. And we're like, yeah, they CGI'd all the bees in. We're like, what? Like, yeah, they had to use computer animation to put bees in because the actual bees didn't show up on camera. So we're all sitting there like getting stung, and we finally watched it like, oh, we had to use CGI anyways. Like, why did we all get stung with bees? And here's another fun part. When you film with a bee, at least in our world, they have to test to see if you're allergic to bee stings. So what they do to test to see if you're allergic to bee stings is they sting you with a bee. Not a word of a lie. They get giant tweezers like you see like insects and stuff being caught with, and they grab a bee and they put a little piece of wire mesh on your arm, and they're basically holding the bee and the tweezers, holding the wire mesh on your arm, and you're sitting there like, what am I doing with my life? This is weird. And they put the little bee stinger in through the wire mesh and sting you. And you're like, ow, that sucks. Like, why? Okay. And they're like, well, we gotta look. And I guess the wire mesh just makes sure like the poison or something doesn't all go into your arm. But you still get stung with a bee. And so you're sitting there like, I'm literally just holding my arm up and stung by a bee. So that sucked. That's my opinion. Mr. Misha?
Were they union or non-union bees?
I'm not at liberty to say.
I don't know what I actually agree with Lucifer Pellegrino's
Thank you.
version.
No, thank you.
Pellegrino's.
No, thank you.
Pellegrino's.
Oh, that's great. Oh, dude, Lucifer, it is. The white suit and stuff. Yeah, thanks, man.
And least favorite is a challenging one. I hear that Bugs was a lot of fun. You guys have talked about that very fondly for a long time. Gosh, I guess Mark Shepard. No, that's an actor on the show. I don't know, what's the bad? What are some other villains that we've had on the show that were not fun to work with? Leviathans were that was a little creepy. That mouth was kind of disgusting. And yeah, I think Leviathan is a good answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I have a question for Misha.
Yes! That's awesome.
During season 6, when Castiel was watching porn for the first time,
Yep.
Did you influence him?
did they actually came up with a pizza man and Vegas?
Wait. Rewind in your brain to make sure you heard what you just heard before answering this. Will you say it again?
If it actually was a pizza man and babysitter porn on the screen, or what you were watching during the film.
Stop me for wording this time.
Yes. Whenever you see a screen, like a monitor, like when we're filming, whenever we're filming, you will see, for example, you'll see me on the computer doing some research, right? But the camera will be on the other side, so it's just showing the back of the computer, right? You're not seeing the screen. What will be on the screen there will be an image of a naked man sitting on a bed with a penis that comes down the bed. The thing is terrifying. This is not a joke. And the reason that this happens is that they'll say there's somebody who can control, what comes on the screen remotely, right? And so the camera will be on, I do research, and then that pops up. And it's very difficult to keep a straight face at that point. So that does happen. Also, we'll have magazines sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll also be
Busty-Asian
magazines. Some serious shit going
So
on.
they use the Busty-Asian beauty magazines for some reason, and they don't need to put it outside of like actual Playboys and porno magazines, but because they're putting a fake cover and a fake back onto an existing magazine. I mean, it could be
It could be Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah. People, TV Guide, it could be anything. but they use actual like pornographic magazines. But yeah, it's use. I mean, it's just yeah, it's a little interesting. Yeah, those are our deepest, darkest secrets. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a serious question for both of you.
Great.
Well, you know, it's difficult to choose a profession. And have you ever thought about another profession, or maybe have any doubts in your choice? And what advice can you give to us about choosing a profession?
Are you saying that we should consider another profession?
She's saying maybe your true calling is elsewhere.
Elsewhere, yes. Your talents lie elsewhere, boys.
Choosing a profession is very, 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 very difficult. I just read, there's an American comedian named Dave Barry, and he has a list, he calls it 19 things that took me 50 years to learn. And one of them is something to the effect of, never confuse your career with your life. And then he goes back and says, let me say that again, never confuse your career with your life. He has great ones, like somebody who's nice to you but meeting the waiter is not a nice person. He's very funny. But I would try to, gosh, it's really hard, difficult to answer this question from this perspective. I think I feel very lucky and blessed to be doing what I'm doing. I was going to be an engineer, go engineering, but I kind of happened into this. I worked very hard at it, and I know he did as well. Try to do something that, it doesn't need to make you, there are times when this job doesn't make me happy. There are times when this job, there's nothing like it. There are other times when I'm like, man, why can't I just be a teacher or something? So don't set the standard so high where your feeling is, man, if this job doesn't make me so happy each and every day, it's wrong. But try to do something that doesn't specifically make you unhappy. If there's something that you enjoy more often than not, this may be awful advice. Look for something that you're into and realize that everything at some point in time is going to be work and it's going to be a sacrifice and it's going to suck. No matter how cool your job is, you can be an ice cream taster. Sometimes you're going to be full of ice cream, you know? And that was my dream as a child, was to be an ice cream taster.
You know what's really weird? Right before coming on this trip, I was explaining to the kids, like, hey guys, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks. It's really hard on them at this age. And I was like, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and I just want you to know why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for work. This is part of my job, and I have to do this, you know, so we can pay for food and for our house and for our clothes and stuff like that. And I love you guys very much, and I can't wait to come home. And he says, Wes said, well, Dad, could you maybe just get another job, a different job, where you didn't have to go away? And I said, like what? And he said, you could be a taster. No joke. He said you could be a taster. Isn't that amazing?
My boy. That's my boy. You saw us eating that gummy bear together.
That's, yeah.
Try to do something that you... There's a great quote, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But even if you love what you do, there will be times when you hate it. So just try and do something that you enjoy. That sounds like a paradox. Yeah, something you enjoy.
I would echo what he's saying. I mean, especially if you're interested in a career that's kind of creative and maybe a little bit of a long shot, like acting is, or writing, or anything in the arts. I have seen a lot of people hide in other work. So they'll get a job that takes 40 hours a week that's doing something that isn't really what they want to do, but they tell themselves they have to do this, but what they really want to do is something else. And I think it often ends up becoming an excuse to not pursue the thing that they really want to do. I actually really believe that if you really want to do something, you have to kind of be willing to take some risks and make some sacrifices, and maybe, you know, when you're starting out, not make very much money doing it, or live on your parents' couch while you're doing it. But if you throw yourself into something that you love and you do it with passion, and if you make it about the process, not the product, like you enjoy the work itself, I think it's almost impossible not to be a success in some way or another. So yeah, same advice, said differently.
Speaking of enormous success, hi everybody. You said the safe word, success, and it triggered me to come on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha College here,